We will start. So, all right. What is going on, guys? This is the Session 5 Sports Podcast. My name is Deji Olajide. I'm your host. And here at Session 5 Sports, we are all about helping athletes find their purpose after sports ends. That was a big part of my journey, playing sports in high school and college. And then once I was done, I was like, man, what am I supposed to do now that I don't have this sports like culture, this sports schedule, and finding out what was next. So here at Session 5 Sports, we want to be able to bring some powerful guests onto the platform to be able to answer that question and to guide athletes just as yourself and to guide listeners just as yourself who are trying to find what's next. So for today, we have one of my friends that I've met here, one of my East Coast buddies who now is residing in the Southeast, and now is, residing out in the South. So I'm excited to bring in Mr. Daniel Quave. Daniel, what is going on, man?
What's up, man? We we got to get that geographic we got to get that correct. I'm born and raised in Mississippi, so not to step on no toes, but I got to represent for the silk. You know what I'm saying?
For the South, we represent for that dirty, dirty
for
South.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. The mud. You got to be special to make it out of here, man.
Mississippi, man. Now I know, like Cali, we got the West Coast. Like for Mississippi, what is like that slang or that nickname that y'all have?
The silk. Like that's what you're kind of referring to, the nickname of Mississippi, the silk. Yeah, I mean, it just it's called the silk. You just got to come get a taste of it, man. That's it.
Okay, the silk.
Yeah,
my man got the sip in the house. So
yeah, for sure.
That's what's up, man.
It's home, Daniel, man.
We are glad to have you, man, and it's always awesome to be able to have folks from all around the country. Like today, we got Mississippi. And that's the power of sports, man. It really does connect with people all over, not only just the U.S., but all over the world, man. So going back to Mississippi, man, just first of all, introduce us. So tell us just a little bit about you and, where you're from.
Yeah. So, man, a little bit about me I'm born and raised Goshen, Mississippi. I tell people a lot of times I'm 25, 30 minutes east of Biloxi, Mississippi. A lot of people can kind of like resonate with where Biloxi is instead of Goshen. Small town, big family, grew up with 5 brothers and sisters. I'm one of 6. Just grew up with a lot of love, slower pace, really got I say a good understanding of who I am, just where I was currently at. Not really many opportunities to really explore kind of who I was with the limited resources here in Mississippi. But man, for the most part, I definitely believe Mississippi gave me a great foundation to stand on, and get my life journey started with the foundation that I was given through being raised from Mississippi.
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Now, when you say small town, like how many people were in that town you grew up in? Like,
so I say, man, honestly, it would be something I would have to definitely Google. I had to Google, but I'll say like 15,000.
15,000. Wow.
Man, let me see, matter of fact, man. Let me.
Yeah, because I was born in Los Angeles, and I grew up out here in Southern California.
Yeah.
And in Los Angeles, man, this is a big city. We got a couple million here in the city. So small town living is very different. So talk to us, man. What was it like for you growing up in Mississippi, and how were you introduced to sports?
Growing up, and I just looked it up, man. So like currently as of 2020 is 19,000, the population of Goshen, Mississippi. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
But no, man, it was cool. I graduated. I say I graduated 175 people. I think that was my graduating class. Mm-hmm. Man, but for the most part, growing up young, man, it's like you didn't really have much worries in terms of I guess the same words as you would if you grew up in a big metropolitan area like LA, the big area, the big cities like that. Family-based, community-based, the community definitely knew. We go outside and um, you got to be mindful of what you do because things can get back to your family. You definitely understood that you represented your family whenever you went out, you did your thing, just whatever you were doing, just having fun, being a kid. Um, you know, tight knit. It's not as country as everybody may think whenever they think of Mississippi. Like, I
Right.
mean, it's slow living, but in terms of like the country living, it's not just like you don't see horses and stuff on the highway.
Right.
Yeah, give us a little credit, you know what I'm saying?
Come on, we gotta give them some credit, man.
Yeah, just a little credit, like. But no, it's cool. It's slow, just slower pace, and you're not really in a rush to get things done. And I mean, some things is I do wish that I was exposed to from like, being, the advantages of being brought up in the bigger city. But in terms of the morals and just the value of people, I feel like, that's something that we kind of that we possess coming from a small place like where I'm from.
Yeah. Now you went to one of the big colleges down there in the,
Mm-hmm.
in the South. But tell us, man, like, what was your experience like just getting introduced to sports and even in high school, man? How did that whole process start?
So it's crazy, man, growing up, like, where I grew up actually, like, in Gaucher. I grew up on Ladner Road, like one of the main roads in Gaucher, and right across the street was Baycock Park. And man, just growing up and everybody within the city played, rec ball there, football, basketball, football and baseball. Grew up literally right across the street from my house. I used to like walk there, and that literally just exposed me to just the possibility of becoming just an athlete, just being that person that it just was fun at that point. And, just spending time with my friends, my family, like, cause I had brothers who played with me too.
Yeah.
Well, a brother, my sisters used to cheer for, like, all three of my sisters used to cheer for the cheerleader program across the street as well. So it was just kind of like inevitable, you know, just flag football all the way up to Pee Wee football, then Pee Wee football, leading up to high school, junior high, then high school.
Yeah.
And excuse me. But no, it was cool, it was kind of the thing to do as well. I was a big guy and, athletic. So I mean, you put the pads on and you went to work.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely, man. It's nothing like I remember, bro, my first year playing tackle football,
Mm-hmm.
just putting those pads on for the first time and putting that
Mm-hmm.
helmet on. I was like, dude, this is because we used to do this drill called tombstone. Tombstones where you lay on the floor,
Mm-hmm.
coach blow
Mm-hmm.
that whistle, and you get
Mm-hmm.
up and you boom, you hit somebody. And I just remember, man, like, wow, this sport is different, man. So
Right.
football definitely is an incredible opportunity to grow as a man and to just learn about team sports
Yeah.
all together, man. So what were some of those, like, I guess, favorite memories you had, man, playing ball?
So, fun fact, bro. So when I was a kid, so I played football. I played flag football first, and then after
Okay.
flag football, I played baseball, and then, like, man, baseball was legit my first love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was really good at it. I used to be the home run king between me and my good friend Jared Downs. It used to be either or, just year in year out. Used to hitting the most home runs throughout each season. And it got to a point where, I didn't want to play football anymore because I think I had broke somebody's finger or broke somebody's hand or something like that after I had hit on one good time. And then after that, I'm like, yo, man, like, I don't want to hurt nobody no more. Like, baseball, like, I'm good at it. Like, if I continue down this path, I know I can create a future for myself. So I'm gonna just leave football alone. So I stopped playing football after a while, because I used to play defensive line. Like, I used to play both ways, but like defense was like my passion. I ain't really care about O-line back then. But man, I had, like, after I had broke that dude, I broke a guy's arm. It was his arm or hand, something like one of those like that. I had stopped playing for like 2 years, and it was strictly baseball at that. And it was crazy, man. I was really good at both. Like really, I was good at basketball as well. Like just a tri-sport athlete, triathlete. I mean, I kind of feel like football really chose me at a sense. You know what I'm saying? I chose baseball, but football chose me, and I had to go with football like in the latter parts of my
Yeah. Now you
years.
went on to play at Louisiana Lafayette, correct?
Correct.
And playing there, you played offensive line or defensive line?
Offense, right guard to be exact.
Right guard. So using them trenches.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So while you were there, I mean, give me like a glimpse. Like, what was like one of your favorite memories playing offensive line at the University of Louisiana Lafayette?
Man, there's so many. There's so many. But like, I guess the one that really stands out the most to me because like, in my mind, it really set the tone for my career, for my collegiate career was my first start like as a redshirt freshman with against Oklahoma State in Stillwater. That was 2011. That was the 2011 season. And man, just kind of coming in and sitting out I would not actually playing a game for a year with me being redshirt and then just coming into the scene like right after that, and that being my first game, like the jitters and the nerves and if not feeling like football at that point, because of the so many people. That was my first time playing and that many people. I'm not sure exactly the crowd capacity that they had, but man, just it was 80,000 people at least. It had.
Ooh, that's live.
Yeah,
that's live. It was rocking.
Yeah, exactly. And but no, man. And to be honest, man, I actually had a pretty solid game. And from that moment there, it literally like I'm glad that was my first game because, like I said, it set the tone for my entire career in college. And like I overcome that, and like once I overcame that, it literally showed me like, man, it's not, just embrace it. Embrace it. It's football. It's football on the biggest stage, but it's still football.
Right.
Yeah, no, it was cool, man.
Man, red shirt freshman, 80,000 people in Stillwater, bro.
Yeah.
Bro. Yeah. I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine because that stadium has housed some pretty big athletes. I'm thinking of Justin Blackman. I don't know if he was playing during that year, but he was a big receiver to come out of Oklahoma State. Tyreek Hill went there too. So it's a lot of guys that played in that stadium right there, man. So
and I forget the guy. They had a first rounder. I played it defensive tackle. I forget his name, man. First round, I was going against them all game. Until they started blowing us out. And then they started blowing us out. I don't think I saw him. I saw him maybe third quarter a little bit, but I definitely didn't see him fourth quarter.
He was, he was giving you that work.
I mean, I was in it. I was in it. It was definitely respect after the game. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You stood toe to toe with him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely, I didn't give up any sacks. And in my mind, that's all I didn't want to do.
Good.
Let's just not give up any sacks,
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, okay, so you were playing college ball. You're over there. You're living that college life. It's the dream, really. I mean, you're playing D1 ball. You're starting. That's a very, very powerful just time period in one's life. So I want to ask you, man, like during that time, like, did you have any challenges that came up in your life? And if so, how did you overcome those challenges?
Well, I guess freshman year challenge was my mom's at the time, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. So that was kind of challenging, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of me being away, just legit, like as soon as I left, we got that news, and it was kind of like, it was tough. It was tough, struggle with processing that, with being away. And that definitely, but it was also motivating too, though. So it was I guess, if you will, a double-edged sword, if you will. Because it definitely did kind of keep me focused and motivated, like just kind of having me in the place mentally of just understanding exactly the opportunity that I had at hand and what it was for and what I was working toward and like, the decisions that I was making at the time. I was still having fun being 18, 19 in Lafayette, Louisiana, man. Like you said, that's wild times. But, with just all my decisions that I was making, like just understanding like, man, I represent more than just myself at this point too. So just kind of like, coming to terms with that, that with which me and my family was going through. Yeah, man, it kept me grounded. It kept me grounded. It really did, for sure. Looking back at it now, it definitely kept me grounded. And so I really, and also like with me, playing early in my career as like a freshman, redshirt, that definitely kept me grounded as well. I didn't really, I got the full college experience, what I'm saying, as a student athlete, but like in terms of just like loose goose with it, I wasn't approaching it in that manner. So it was cool, I guess it was a cool experience, what I'm saying. Definitely wouldn't have traded it for the world. I'm glad I made that decision to go there because I was going to take the route of going JUCO in hopes of going to the SEC, in which I think if I would have went JUCO, I definitely think that would have manifested in that manner. But I definitely feel okay with me going the route that I did take, going straight to the Sun Belt. I still create opportunities for myself as well, taking that route. Excuse me.
Yeah, man. Wow.
Yeah.
That's tough. So once your career was over there at Louisiana Lafayette, you went ahead and you took a stab at the league, man. Talk to us about that part of your journey.
Yeah, man. It's crazy, man. I definitely, look back at that moment in my life where me and my agent, it was between me and my agent, we was expecting, late round, 6th, 7th round. Didn't get picked up, right after the draft ended. My agent was calling me with different teams. It was the Cowboys, Arizona, and the Falcons. They all was calling, wanting to offer me a undrafted free agent deal.
Yep.
And at the time I didn't really understand exactly what that meant, but I just knew that, it was an opportunity for me to get in and kind of showcase my talent in a short period of time and just kind of like, earn my way, I guess on the roster. And, when we saw fit that Dallas would be the best out of the 3 options that we had available. And, I went to Dallas for rookie mini camp, and I actually signed the deal, undrafted free agent.
Now, Daniel, for those that may be listening and they're like, what does it mean to be an undrafted free agent? Can you break it down for them in terms of what that actually means?
Yeah, so pretty much undrafted free agent is like, you're not drafted within the 7 rounds within the draft, but within those free agent restrictions that you still have an opportunity to teams still provide you opportunities to pretty much come in try out for their organization. And the roster starts, I believe, at 96, and then they cut it down all the way to 53. So you can still work to still make the 53-man roster. Like, you still creating opportunities for yourself to find your without even being drafted, to find yourself on a 53 active man roster whenever the season gets kicked off, or at least even the 10-man roster for the practice squad for each organization. If that kind of explains it in simple terms.
Got you.
Yeah. So when we chose Dallas, and at the point, man, where I was at, just kind of within my career and within my headspace, I worked so hard to get to a place, and I finally got to a place, and it just, I think that I allowed the moment of me. I think I allowed myself to just not. I didn't capitalize on the moment the way I know that I could, and I give it to me the lack of preparedness that I mentally for myself. I was kind of in a place where I was distracted, and the work ethic was there. I don't know. I don't want to make it no excuses. I just wasn't prepared for it. Not like I would have wanted to be. truthfully.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, so I had a short stint with the Cowboys, and I just, like I said, I didn't really capitalize on the opportunity that was given to me.
Okay. So you were with
Yeah.
the Cowboys for like what, the summer, the fall, 1 year?
Yeah, summer leading up to that preseason.
Mm.
Yeah.
And then like you were let go.
Yeah, I was cut. Then I was cut, and I mean, I had a few workouts. I mean, I was working out with the Saints for a little bit. I just couldn't find another home. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just couldn't find another home. I couldn't find another place to kind of get my feet grounded, just so I can kind of get those kinks out of me.
Yeah.
For me, just kind of get a better understanding, a better perspective of what it was to be a professional athlete at the time.
Now, in my mind, I can visualize seeing that scene, because I used to watch Hard Knocks all the time.
Mhm.
And I remember seeing that scene where, people will go into Jerry Jones' office, or they'll go into, the head coach's office, and they say, hey, Deji Olajide, we're so sorry, man. You're not gonna continue on with our team this season.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to us about that experience for you when it was like, man, like ball is done for me. Like when you had to put the cleats up.
Yeah, no. So yeah, so when I was with Dallas, I didn't put the cleats up. I still kept the cleats. It just that opportunity with Dallas was kind of coming to it. It came to an end. I remember it like yesterday, man. Like just got into the facility. You know what I'm saying? And today, and like at this point, I was just kind of getting my like confidence together. I was just getting my like, man, this moment isn't too big for me. I really see myself like evolving. I'm just kind of getting my head together. And I just was made it to my locker. And from my locker, I was just like, man, I'm gonna go grab me some breakfast real quick, get my mind ready, get ready for meetings and workouts at that point. And I remember one of the equipment, one of the like coach's assistants, he had came and get me out of the breakfast room, out of the training table.
Yeah.
And he was just saying, man, Coach Garrett wanted to talk to you real fast. And I mean, whenever he said it, man, my heart sunk. I knew what it was. Yeah. But see, the thing was, it was just kind of like it happened a little bit earlier than expected because at this point, this wasn't whenever they was making their cuts. There was like, they picked the guys from the rookie free agent class, and these were the guys who was like, I guess not necessarily guaranteed to just figure it, like have that grace period, but it was just a little earlier than expected. And I went into the locker room, the coach's locker room, and I sat right across for Coach Jason Garrett. And he just told me, look me eye to eye, and they could tell like he didn't want to, that's just a part of the job. He had told me, he said, this is the part of the job, pretty much part of the job that I hate to do, but what I'm saying, we're just gonna have to let you go at this point. And yeah, man. So just from that point there, man, it just and the thing about it is I came to terms with it quick because I understood that, it wasn't him cutting me. I literally was cutting myself because I just wasn't prepared for it.
Wow.
I didn't take that preparation. I didn't take the preparation serious in terms of like this opportunity is literally once in a lifetime.
Yep.
So I was just looking for ways to buy myself more time, and not realizing that in that moment, the time that you have is within your book and within your preparation. That's how you buy yourself more time.
Man.
Yeah.
That's a lesson right there, man. Preparation is
the way that you buy yourself time.
Wow.
You create, you don't buy it. When you prepare, you don't buy time, you create time. When you prepare for it.
Man. That's good right there. I remember Nipsey Hussle said something similar to those lines. He was like, I know I can never be fully proud of myself if I didn't go 110% of my preparation.
Real talk. And, opportunity. He said, opportunity meet preparation. They meet as well. We say opportunity meet preparation. They meet is great.
Yeah, that's on the victory lap.
Yeah.
Rest in peace, Nip, man.
Yeah. Rest in peace.
That's a powerful lesson, I think, for all the athletes listening, and even the former athletes listening. It's like preparation is so key, not only to your success on the field, I mean, but also that plays into your success off the field, you know, just in life. I mean, there's probably countless opportunities that have passed simply because, you know, we were not prepared for it.
And I think, and not to cut your wisdom, I do think like that's one of the, you know, not to get ahead of myself neither, but that focal point right there, literally, it literally like speaks volume of just what it is to like have a life. You know, like you have to prepare for everything in life, you know what I'm saying? But not to cut your wisdom and not to deter the direction of where you're going. I just kind of wanted to piggyback on what you were saying in terms of preparation. But man, it speaks volume.
Yeah.
It's volumes in that.
Yeah, no, I want to hear more from you though. Like say more because I know once sports ended for you, in terms of preparation, I mean, you jumped in and you did a lot of other things to kind of propel yourself into the next step. So talk to us about that part, man.
No, man, for sure. And honestly, even still to this day, you know, like I I'm still learning the value of just being prepared, you know what I'm saying? Or just prepare for whatever opportunity that's like that life presents you. Because, you know, currently, like I said, I'm working on my MBA program, you know, through LSU. And I find myself in situations to where like my lack of preparation is still it still bombards me at times, you know, with procrastinating and just kind of putting it off and just kind of like, you know, just the procrastination aspect. So it's like a decision every day between procrastination and preparedness. Like being prepared or you're gonna procrastinate. That's literally my battle that I face with every single day of where I wake up at and where I'm currently at in my journey. And like just speaking on this podcast is making me realize that this is something that I've been dealing with for a long time. And I think it's just me being a human being and just giving myself that grace of just understanding like this is just what it is to be a human being. And I see the decision each and every day of am I going to procrastinate or am I going to like be prepared? And like though, and I see now the choice in it, you know, I see the choice in it, and like you know, in the same like in your and like and it's all and so for me right now currently it's not a physical choice, it's a mental choice. Like it's a mental choice and emotional as well. Like you know, just in every facet of life, financially, like every decision that I make is like those two are the literally the deciding. Those are the two, either A or B. You know, you're gonna procrastinate, you're gonna be prepared about whatever. Yeah, that's kind of how like I'm learning. I see the decisions of like how that plays out in my life from even back then, from when I didn't fully maximize that opportunity that I had in Dallas, and even currently now of where I'm at. Like those are still the two key factors that still exist today that existed in 2015. You know what I'm saying? Those 7 years apart, those still are the two key factors that still plays a huge that you know that I still battle with. I think we literally gonna battle with that until the day that we die.
Yeah, it's a human thing, right? Like
Yeah.
you know, you're not alone in that. All of us as humans at some point are faced with that temptation to want to procrastinate, you know. So yeah, it comes up from time to time.
Yeah, I don't think I answered your question either. Did I answer your question? I kind of made my own answer to my own question to my own answer, I guess.
So specifically, I want to hear about Della Bloom, man, because once sports was over for you, you decided to, you know, began working for a company. And after working for that company, I know you started to reach back doing some recruiting to help fellow student athletes, you know, kind of get on their path and get on their journey in the work field. So talk to us about some of the things you did there.
Yeah, no, man. So, you know, I was working with Waffle House. I jumped into the management with Waffle House. Had a great career there. Got the district manager, you know, and along my path, the thing that really enhanced my career was the fact that I, like you say, I created so many opportunities for it was 14 guys, like 14 student athletes, 12 student athletes and 2 guys that I knew from college that I just knew that would be a good fit for the company. And within these 14 guys that I helped get on with this company, Waffle House, great organization. Man, it literally added so much value to the market that I was in within the Lafayette market. The Lafayette market, like they benefited, the organization benefited so much from my ability of like being able to be to segue those guys from school and just like kind of just transitioning from college into the workforce and it just added value to the individual guys that got the job, and then also the organization of Waffle House. It was just it was a great opportunity, a great experience for myself. And that just kind of segued me into just kind of thinking of wanting to create opportunities for student athletes whenever they transition from whenever they transition from school, just to kind of bring awareness of what that transition may look like if the next step of professional sports didn't really pan out for the individual.
Right.
And just always wanting to be that that safety net to have the guys understand that, like, for everybody it's not going to pan out. And I was one of those guys, like, the NFL is going to work. It's going to work. Like, it's going to be mine. And then for it to just being stripped away from me, that's cool. It's cool. It's just, but also just like having that safety net of just understanding the transition, understanding your value within your transition is that, like, there's more value within you than, the value within you doesn't just come from just being an athlete. It comes from being a natural leader. It comes from like having untapped potential within your professional career, whatever that may be. And that's something that like Della Bloom was allowing me to kind of cultivate within the student athletes, just helping them transition and get jobs, like good quality jobs, and putting them on a career path that would just enhance their value that was already instilled within them through sports, but also placing a lot of student athletes within a good career paths as well for their professional journey.
So good, man. When I was in college, I went to Azusa Pacific University. It's a Division II school out here in the West Coast, and we won several championships. And man, when I stopped playing, my last game, my senior year, that was 2015, 14. Bro, when I say my whole world just stopped, like you're talking about jobs and going into the workplace, bro, I didn't know what in the world I was gonna do. Like, I didn't really take my professional prep, going back to preparation. Like, I didn't take my professional life and my professional career preparation seriously. And it was a wake-up call for me, man. So the fact that, you were helping those 14 guys at Waffle House, and even now with the work you're doing with Della Bloom, helping athletes transition into their professional working, just journey, that's huge, man, because a lot of athletes don't get that transition help. So
no, yeah, man. It's because everybody, like, I don't understand. I think that's kind of a trap too, but it's not. But like I just think, it's more of a reality than a lot of people give light to. You always hear the statistics, out of 148,000 student athletes across the board, only 2% make it, which is true. But everybody falls within that 2% of going to make it. Everybody in their mindset whenever they 21, 22, 23, I'm going to make it. Like, they ain't talking about it. They're talking about the next man.
Right.
And like everybody, and it's like, I think now the way like it's all being set up, I think a lot of people now, especially like, with the NILs and things of that nature, a lot of people now are like looking at it like they're taking the pressure off of having to be that 2%. I think a lot of the minds within the college sports, the realm is gravitating to like that entrepreneur route of like, I don't have to just make it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know,
Right.
you have a natural love for the game and you want to make it. You want to continue to play the game. But just the pressures of like, I have to make it. I think that's starting to the shift, the paradigm shift within the minds of the student athletes are starting to shift now.
I love seeing it. Like, and when that NIL stuff broke, me and you were texting it up because I'm loving seeing how athletes are leveraging their skills and their influence to be able to make money and also to focus on something outside of just playing ball. Because you know, like professional sports, the average lifespan of, let's say, an NFL athlete is 3.5 years. But you can have a career in your professional job for what, 40 years, 50 years. So when you think about it like that, it's like, how much time and energy should I really be focusing on? Should I be focusing everything on ball, or should I put some of that energy into, you know, hey, how can I make money from my influencing social media? How can I build this business? How can I start this camp? How can I, you know, whatever the case may be, because that is something you can do for a long time.
Right. And that's one thing, like, not to continue on this topic, but that's what I love about the NIL. It's starting to have the athletes think about developing monetary assets for themselves at a young age. I mean, like early, because in college, the only way that we was thinking about making money was going to the NFL.
Yep.
Was going to the NBA, whatever. That was the only way that we was able to I guess manifest the manifestations of like revenue, you know. But now like they are able to like actually start exercising that mindset now while still in school, getting their education. And they're like, it's not about like their minds are starting to develop. Like, that's why I say their minds are being exercised and awakening in a different manner to which ours were whenever we played. So, and that's the key concept. It's just the minds are opening up now.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah.
So I want to kind of, as we end, I want to lean back towards some of that wisdom and that preparation stuff you're hitting on. And I wanted to ask you, like, what is something you wish you knew as a former student athlete that you would like to impart to the next generation of professional and college athletes?
So, you know, definitely understanding, like, you know, life, the way life is set up, you literally you invest in yourself. The more you invest into yourself, the more you literally bring out what's in you, the thing that makes you who you are as an individual. Once you identify that tool, that gift, that technique that literally God has literally given you and hasn't given anyone else, a mindset, whatever it may be, identify it, recognize it, and like literally pull it out within you. Like literally every day that you wake up, literally focus on whatever that may be, pull it out within you, because that's the value that you create for yourself to give to the world. That's how you create your value, your individual value. And understanding like the resources that you need, like you know, the resources that you have the resources to pull it out. You just have to identify it and become comfortable with your process of, you know, like separating yourself as an individual. Like know your identity fully. Not and that's literally once you know who you are, you know where you're going.
Right.
Yeah. It determines your decisions. You know what decisions to make based on your identity. So I guess, man, to put all in a nutshell, man, just understand your full identity outside of the sport that you play.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's huge, man.
Yeah.
That is huge, man. You know, here at Session 5 Sports, we actually have a course that our founder, John DeCure, put together. It's called How to Discover Your Purpose. And I'm going to put that information in the podcast description here at session5institute.com. I want to encourage everybody to, like Daniel said, man, find what is that unique way that God has gifted you? What has he given you in terms of your identity? And how can you live fully in your identity outside of your sport, man? That is powerful, bro. So in closing, man, Daniel, it's been great having you. Is there any other closing statements or thoughts that you would like to give to our audience? And also, how can we, be following you and stay in contact with you?
Man, definitely right now in terms of keeping up with me, I'm heavy on the LinkedIn. Daniel Quave. I transitioned off of Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, a few years back. That was kind of like to help me get a better understanding of my identity, because I was using those platforms to kind of, I was using those platforms from a stance of me not knowing who I was, and I just literally had to get off to kind of like redefine myself. And I'm gonna segue back on, but for right now, like if anyone wants to get in contact with me, definitely LinkedIn is a heavy platform that I utilize. Once I get
what are you on LinkedIn? Like, how can they find you on LinkedIn?
My name is Daniel Quave. I mean, that's just is Quave, V as in Victor, and that's definitely my main source of my main presence right now is on the professional setting. It's kind of like my main focal point. And yeah, man, that's it, man. I guess, in terms of like something leaving the people with something, man, just man, listen, man, like let's appreciate life. And man, just understand that it's truly a gift and it's a blessing. Life is truly a gift and a blessing. And like just keep yourself accountable to the vision that you have for yourself. Like truthfully. Awesome. Yeah, keep yourself accountable.
That's awesome, man. Well, you guys heard it from the man himself. Keep your vision in front of you. Daniel, it's been a pleasure to have you, man. And to all the listeners out there, remember, your purpose is the thing that's going to propel you to that next step of your life. It's already in you. God has already put it in you. Now you just get to work that thing out in real time. So thank you all so much for joining us today on the Session 5 Sports Podcast, where we're helping athletes find and discover their purpose after sports ends. And we will see you guys soon.
Sure. Pleasure, man.